When it comes to whistleblowers and truth tellers in the music industry, there's no one that's out here spilling the tea more than Katt Williams and Jaguar Wright. I swear, these two live to expose people, but they've recently come out with some interesting allegations, and what they're saying about TakeOff's death, Jay-Z and Diddy is pretty scathing. We all know that Jay-Z and Diddy are accused of doing some shady stuff to get where they are today, but is murder something they're capable of? Well, I mean, if you listen to the rumors, allegedly Diddy is the one that put the hit out on Tupac, and Jay-Z and Beyonce may have been involved in Aaliyah's death. So how are they connected to TakeOff? Stick around and I'll break it down.
For all of them, it don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them, all lies will be exposed. That's all. And that virgin hole I was telling you about, right? Because P Diddy be wanting the body, and you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling.
Katt promises that 2024 would expose a lot of people in Hollywood and the entertainment industry. So far, Jaguar Wright is one of the people coming forward and making that prediction come true.
That boy died so they could cash in a insurance policy and to cover up the fact that Roc Nation was ripping Megan away from 300. I guess nobody's paying attention to the fact that complete control of Megan Thee Stallion's career was taken over right after TakeOff died.
There's a lot to unpack in that one little clip. Rest assured, I did all the research and connected those dots so you don't have to. But this level of dedication and quality research doesn't come cheap. So if you could please take a minute to hit the like and subscribe button to support the channel, we'd really appreciate it. So back in 2022, the Migos rapper was gunned down in Houston at a bowling alley where a fight broke out over a dice game. A man by the name of Patrick Clark was arrested in connection with the shooting. But there's a lot of conflicting information out there about the shooting.
I ain't been hurt somebody, bro.
He was there with Quavo, and the party was hosted by J Prince Jr. That's important because major beef went down later involving J Prince, and he's actually got a connection to Jay-Z. After everything went down, Jay made this post. I've been knowing TakeOff, Quavo, and Offset for many years, and there's been nothing but mutual love for one another, and that ain't gonna ever change where we're concerned. Now, there are several stories about how this went down. Some people say that the Migos crew started shooting first. Other people say that it was J Prince's people who drew a gun on TakeOff. Then there's a third group that think that Migos were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But a video surfaced where J Prince walked past TakeOff's body like it was nothing. No emotion, didn't bat an eye. In a police report, Quavo's friend Willie Bland stated that he witnessed someone reaching for a gun and thought they were gonna shoot Quavo. So he hit the person, and that's what caused the shooting because people on both sides started shooting. J Prince said that was all cap. He'd given all kinds of statements on this police report that we have so we could read his name and everything, because he put himself in a position where he's cooperating and telling a lot of different lies. He also threatened Offset.
That dude, I ain't gonna leave him out. You wasn't really right there with TakeOff when he was alive. For you to be taking these positions that you taking, I'ma just say this to you. Don't never put me in no position where, I have to defend myself. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be healthy for you.
So with all these crazy theories, it's possible that someone was paid to take TakeOff out. But one thing I know for certain, and two things for sure, is that J Prince has connections to Jay-Z. And Jay-Z did start taking over a lot of clients after that. See, this is a post from 2020 where J Prince specifically said he'd work with Jay-Z on an activism campaign against Parchman Prison in Mississippi. That's all the proof you need that Jay was connected. But I've got more. The label that Migos originally signed to was called Quality Control. Scooter Braun bought it off. If that name sounds familiar, it's because he's been cancelled for being a jerk manager. He's the whole reason that Taylor Swift re-recorded her whole catalog and put out Taylor's version of things. But when other talent started jumping off the Scooter Braun ship before it sank, Jay-Z was lying in wait to snatch him up. One notable one was J Balvin.
These rappers get killed
not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts.
Now, what makes a team like Patrick Clark went to jail as sort of a scapegoat for TakeOff's death is that he got arrested and indicted in May 2023. And then the very next day after he was arrested, he was out on bail and put on house arrest. He was only on house arrest for 6 months. Then in November, he had a 7 p.m. 7 a.m. curfew and wasn't allowed to be in contact with anyone involved in the case, including witnesses J. Prince and J. Prince Jr. So the other thing that Jaguar said was that Megan Thee Stallion was caught in the crossfire of this mess. She famously had a dispute with 1501 Records, which is owned by Carl Crawford, who is allegedly advised by Prince. In 2020, she tried to renegotiate her contract and that delayed her debut album. But then the whole incident with TakeOff happened and then Roc Nation snapped her up.
TakeOff's death wasn't nothing but a corporate hostile takeover using his life as the god. Oh my God.
Yeah, R.I.P. TakeOff.
That boy died so they could cash in a insurance policy and to cover up the fact that Roc Nation was ripping Megan away from 300. I guess nobody's paying attention to the fact that complete control of Megan Thee Stallion's career was taken over right after TakeOff died. And the Prince family were forced to leverage and let her go, even though they did not want to. Isn't that interesting?
Houston politics. Let me ask you, because...
And I'm not saying allegedly.
Oh.
But it's not just TakeOff. She says Jay-Z took out TakeOff, Nipsey, Pimp C, and Big L.
Is it really a conspiracy if the same person keeps benefiting off the same kind of tragedy over and over and over again?
Big L was a widely successful MC in the 90s, and he was good. He had the words and rhymes, but he died in a drive-by in Harlem. Much like in TakeOff's case, someone was arrested but released quickly thereafter. The weird part is that the man who was arrested and released was actually shot down on the very same street that Big L was. That reeks of cover-up. But just before he died, Big L was signed to Rockefeller Records. And since his death, rumors have swirled that Jay-Z was involved with this tragic end. One person wrote, Big L was a blood sacrifice for Dame Dash, Jay-Z, or Cameron. If he was alive, he would have been a bigger rapper than Jay-Z, and he would have been the king of Harlem.
I ever saw Jay-Z or even heard him spit a rhyme was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. But he didn't show up as Jay-Z. He didn't show up as the hottest rapper on the street. He showed up as the that was with Big L.
Rest
For
in
those
peace.
of you.
Rest in peace, Big L.
Rest in peace, Big L.
One of the
That was the
dopest. One of the
sensei.
dopest. Yes.
Big L was who put Jay-Z on.
Without question.
And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z. And then, you know, he starts clienteling with Tupac and clienteling with Biggie and doing songs with Biggie and building a working, you know, camaraderie with Honeycombs and AKA Diddy.
Not only does Jaguar say that Jay-Z benefited from Big L dying, she says he's the last one to see him alive.
Jay-Z on.
Wow.
Jay-Z was the last person to see Big L alive.
Wait, so this Big L person is not living on this earth no more?
He's been dead for years. His death made it possible for reasonable doubt to live.
Even more, she says she knows what happened there, and she doesn't want to spill until she does it on the stand.
Everybody about Big L, Sean.
Big L?
I would just rather do it on the stand, Sean. Please sue me. I want to go to court, and I want to talk about Big L on the stand.
Okay, now why Pimp C? Well, he said he had a tape with Beyonce, and he'd been rumored to say that it was better than Kim K's tape. Imagine how bad that would have messed up Beyonce's career if it had leaked. Allegedly, J. Prince was paid a pretty penny to go steal that tape from Pimp C. And rumor has it that Beyonce and Jay-Z were always a little nervous about whether Pimp C maybe had copies of it. Allegedly, that nervousness led to a meeting between Jay-Z and J. Prince, and then Pimp C died on December 4th, 2007 of an alleged overdose. And his friends have said that he didn't look right and he was way too heavy.
But viewed the body.
Yeah.
Only 100 people was involved. Man, Pimp C head was this big.
Stop it, man.
Are you serious? Man, it was this big, dog. I mean, you know.
He was darker too.
Hey,
He was darker
his
too.
lips was look like plastic. His whole face. So Too Short looking at me. We looking at each other like, you know, and everybody just looking at each other like crap. We couldn't even believe this.
No, the casket was so heavy.
Dog, that nigga.
How they made us carry that casket was once we pulled up to the cemetery area. We had to carry. You remember we had to carry it to that. Bro, it was a long walk. They didn't have nothing we could push it on. We had to carry that thing, and we was talking about Chad laughing at us. He left because we were struggling carrying it.
Allegedly, even though he's dead, Beyonce lives in mortal fear that the video will still get out someday, and her #1 biggest fear is that her kids will see it. Much like Big L, Jay-Z supported Nipsey Hussle, and Nipsey was definitely one of the greats. But Jay-Z allegedly has a problem with other rappers who may be better than him. And that's why people think that Jay had something to do with Nipsey's death. In fact, some people think that Jay was taking shots at Nipsey when they collaborated for their song What It Feels Like.
That makes sense to you at all. You burnt your bridge to the other side. You know you can't swim across. Y'all know niggas can't swim. They fried Mike. Shut up.
This fan said, "I've been watching Jay ever since Nipsey passed. I think he gave fake love to Nipsey. He saw how smart he was and how he was as a person and what he had, and watched him for years and caught him at a point where he could slip in. He is not to be trusted. Been seeing him in a couple pictures standing like Nipsey wearing a Crenshaw shirt, but he will never be like NH. Even while he's resting, there is only one Nipsey Hussle." Honestly, it's not any surprise that people are side-eyeing Jay when his buddy Diddy has the mentality that he can get whatever he wants. Anything. Betcha can, bub. But real quick, let's talk about Tupac and also how the feds just raided your houses. Anything? Yeah, that's not gonna fly anymore. Katt Williams said the truth about these big industry players and their misdeeds would come to light this year. And man, the stuff that's shaking loose is crazy. But now I need to hear from you. What do you think about Jay-Z being involved in all this stuff? Do you think there's some more we haven't even heard about? Do you like Jaguar Wright, or are you one of those people who have had enough of her? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!